The Prime Minister says that allegations about the Met spying on the family of Stephen Lawrence could lead to more inquiries into claims of police wrongdoing. 2 inquiries are already underway, and Home Secretary Theresa May said they would cover the current allegations. Stephen was murdered in Eltham in April 1993 in an unprovoked racist attack. One allegation against the Met is that an undercover officer tried to smear Stephen's family after infiltrating their campaign to bring their son's killers to justice.
This is a very, very serious situation. The Lawrence family have suffered appallingly. They lost their son. There was the failure to investigate properly for year after year, and now they hear these allegations that the police were trying to undermine them rather than help them. Nothing is off the table. If more needs to be done, if further investigations or inquiries need to be held, they will be held. This is not an acceptable situation. We must get to the bottom of it.
Michael Mansfield QC was the lawyer for the Lawrence family. I spoke to him earlier and asked him if he thought there should be an entirely separate inquiry into the allegations about the Met and Stephen Lawrence, rather than have them covered by the 2 existing inquiries.
I think it's gone beyond the question of referring it to inquiries that already exist. One's being carried out effectively by the HMIC, the Inspectorate. And the question I have for them, and I dare say other people do, is, you know, where have they been all this time? Why was it that they did not know until it was referred to them earlier this year, and they've set up an operation called Operation Hearn to investigate this, that this was a matter not drawn to their attention? Either they didn't ask the right questions, or if they did ask the right questions, they weren't told the truth about what was happening. So I don't think it's very satisfactory that we have to wait for that operation or that investigation taking place behind closed doors to come to fruition, as it were. Now, in terms of the other investigation, a corruption investigation that's going on, I think that's again a matter which is ring-fenced and it should continue, but this clearly takes it beyond the boundaries of both. And I think the big thing that's missing is transparency, accountability. There should be a Leveson-style inquiry in public, alternatively an inquiry that, along the lines of the Hillsborough panel.
OK. Mr Mansfield, of course, the claims are so far just claims at the moment, allegations. Do you think that you might have been targeted by this alleged smear campaign at the time?
Well, I'm concerned that if, in fact, they have troubled themselves to find out the associates of the Lawrence family, if they've troubled themselves to record clandestinely, without the consent of Mr Brooks or his lawyer, then there seems to be really no end to this. And I can't possibly sit here and rest comfortably in the belief that the solicitor, Imran Khan, or myself were excluded from this. And for all I know, they probably were listening to conversations. I really don't know the answer to this, and I would like to know the answer.
Mr Mansfield, Stephen's mother Doreen meets with the Home Secretary Theresa May tomorrow. What do you expect to see come from that meeting? What would you like to see come out of that meeting?
Well, first of all, I think it's excellent that the Home Secretary has been prepared to meet at very short notice. So I think Doreen will be very grateful for that. Secondly, I think what she's hoping for, and I haven't spoken to her yet, so I'm not speaking for her on this, but I can anticipate that she will want answers. She will want answers quickly, and she'll want them in public, because I think there's been too much done behind closed doors without really being revealed. And the first public inquiry did an excellent job in bringing things into the open, and as a result, you know, has come up with recommendations, 70 odd of them. They haven't all been implemented, but it was a step in the right direction. I think she'll want the same to be happening now, particularly as she was the centre, or appears to be the centre, of their attention.
Also taking place tomorrow, the Commissioner of the Met Police, Sir Bernard Hogan-Howe. He'll be questioned by members of the London Assembly. Now, this alleged smear campaign took place long before he got the job, but if you had any questions for him, what would they be?
Well, the first one is, was there such a squad within a squad? That is the unit that Francis talks about within the Special Demonstrations squad. So it's a state within a state. Was there such a squad? They must know whether this went on, so I'd want a straight answer to that. Number two is, you know, who was responsible for this? where did the money come from for this? Because it's not limited to Lawrence, it goes into other cases as well. And if you like, the accountability throughout. To whom are they accountable? This doesn't happen without people at a very high level knowing, because if it goes wrong, somebody's got to carry the can. So that would be the first batch of questions. Second batch of questions. Do we have a squad now doing exactly the same? In fact, as far as I'm aware, there are two squads. One dealing with extremists, the other dealing with national intelligence. What are they doing? To what extent are they accountable?
Mr. Mansfield, so sorry to interrupt you, but I have to stop it there. But thank you very much for joining us this evening.
OK.
Thank you. Well, Michael Mansfield, lawyer for the Stephen Lawrence family, speaking to me earlier.